year of the 21st century, a man standing by a highway in the middle of America pulled from his pocket his life savings, $30, laid it inside a phone booth, and walked away. You know, I've known Daniel for 20 years before he gave up money. And then when he did give it up about 10 years ago, I heard about it and I just figured he was crazy. He said the money was an illusion, and I didn't really believe that. In 2008, though, after the economy collapsed and money just disappeared that we thought we had, I started giving him a second look, and I wondered, well, maybe he had a point, because if your house was worth $500,000 one day and then only $300,000 the next day, what happened to that $200,000? What was that money in the first place? Public debt soared to $8, $10, finally $13 trillion. He did not pay taxes or accept food stamps, welfare, or any other form of government handout. Not pay taxes or accept food stamps, welfare, or any other form of government handout. Not pay taxes or accept food stamps, welfare, or any other form of government handout.
Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And that clip I showed you there of a guy named Daniel Cello. You know, this is a dude who thought our whole entire monetary system was a joke. Money is deception. And people are programmed, and he did not want to be shackled to the workforce anymore. So he completely expunged himself from society, and you know, lived in a caves and whatever, and just live a life, you know what I'm saying, without money, you know. And I heard about this story a while ago, and I can't say, you know, I sort of give him props for standing by his convictions. I'm like, he's somebody who felt like as I said, you know what I'm saying, money makes people into slaves, that money is an illusion, and that he walked the walk. You know what I'm saying? Some people, a lot of people talk it, but he walked it. He said, hey man, I'm not going to be part of this system. You know, I can't say I completely agree with him, and I'll do that, you know, but still, you have respect. I gotta have respect for him a little bit. But there's people that may have Danny Cello's sort of mind state. That, you know what I'm saying, working is for suckers, you know, money is a deception, and so forth. But they're just talking. They won't walk the walk. Like old Danny there, notice how it says that he doesn't accept welfare or food stamps or any sort of government handouts. You know, yet, and we have these people that are lackadaisical. You know, let's talk about how people are brainwashed because they actually go to a job and this and that, and you're not going to work because you feel like a slave and so forth. But they enjoy all the conveniences of living in a first world country. You know, running water, electricity, even assistance from the government. So they're definitely not going to walk the walk. You know, they're just going to basically chillax on our labor, you know, being able to go down to the corner store and get you a package of Swisher Sweets and so forth. See, all this is work, you know what I'm saying? People getting up, going to work every day to make sure you have electricity, make sure the store is open when you buy your stuff, or make sure the internet is working, and you know, truck drivers delivering liquor to the liquor stores, and you know what I'm saying, and all that jazz, you know. So unless you're going to be like Danny and just completely remove yourself from this society, just saying, hey, I'm not going to work like these other people, while, you know what I'm saying, relaxing on your hammock or whatever and playing with your iPhone and so forth. Yeah, that's completely being a hypocrite there. But you know, I'm like, how's that work out? Now the thing is, you know, this is part 2 to my dissertation, a man has to work, and a lot of people got offended maybe some people got offended by the first one or didn't understand where it's coming from. I try to speak clear. I try to speak in English. Everything that I have, every word that I say, you can look it up in the dictionary. But, you know, I think they got it completely misconstrued, you know. And when I say work, that's what I mean. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to work for somebody else. You can work for yourself. You can do your own thing. You know what I mean? A man has to work. You know, in the black community, and I use that word community very loosely, you have a lot of dudes that won't even water a plant. You know, I'm like, these dudes are completely, as I said, somewhat mooching off the system, are using the basic infrastructure. And within this infrastructure, they don't want to contribute. Hint, they would rather take than give. You know, because it's simple for them. See, there's a difference between somebody saying that they don't want to be a slave, you know, to the workforce, and expedite themselves up in the fucking mountains or a tree top and live like a hermit, and then somebody who's saying I don't want to be a slave to the workforce, while just sitting around playing video games on YouTube and so forth, basically being lazy, you know. Okay, we're gonna go in now. In my last video, in no way did I try to say that, you know what I'm saying, one should just be happy working some hokey pokey job. You know, I've stated that there's plenty of, if you don't like one job, you can find something that you do like, find something that's feasible. You know, flexible, I'm sorry. It's like when people don't work, they say the same old rigmarole. They're like, oh, wow, you know, my manager, I want to punch my manager in the face. Or, they pay me for my work, but don't pay me for my time, this and that. I was the hardest worker there, and I didn't get props due. I understand that. I worked plenty of jobs when I came across that same scenario. Then you can actually go out here and find work that you're comfortable at. You know, even making a part-time, you know, at Long John Silver's and so forth. Also, I've never stated that just you have to work for somebody else and not work for yourself. When did I? How could anybody get the impression that I made that statement? Hence, but working for yourself, owning your own business. You know what I'm saying? Do you think you're going to be on easy street? Some of these people who own their own business, they work harder then than when they work for somebody else and actually make less money, because they may end up losing money because it goes into the business and it's not generating enough for its cost. You see what I'm saying? Like I used to work at this pizzeria in upstate New York. And then the owner of the store died at 56 years old. You know what I'm saying? Because he was working to death. You can see in his face he was always stressed out. You know, sweating, making sure the store runs right. Employees not showing up. You know, even on his days off, he used to come in and check in the store, and we had to tell him, hey man, just enjoy your vacations and so forth. I'm like, he was like a chain smoker or whatever. I'm like, it ran him to the grave. I honestly admit that if this guy, maybe people may say that maybe he didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying, run a pizzeria, but even though he was in the business all his life or whatever, and then, you know, it was the restaurant business is competitive, especially if you're a small independent owned chain and you're up against major chains and a pizzeria in New York. Come on now. I'm like, you're competing with a whole lot of people, and this dude wasn't even Italian, you know, he was an Anglo-Saxon. So, you know, but you know, that's the thing. I'm like, here in America, what's it like? 80% of all businesses go under. Anyway, I'm like, because people who work for themselves are dealing with major conglomerates and so forth. Now, but also talking about a man has to work. You know, some people say, oh, you know, you're brainwashed by the white man. The white man is telling you this and that. I'm like, no. Before we even came across white people, before the dead presidents was just a sperm cell in their great granddaddy's nutsack, we had to work. You know, people talking about black people built the pyramids. Yeah, that took work. All them statues and architecture that the Egyptians did, yeah, people had to do it. You know, whether it's slaves, and then you had people who had to draw up the draft, and then you had people to make sure it's going out right. And the empires we built in Timbuktu and our canal systems that we crafted and building boats and so forth. Yeah, and jewelry and pottery. Yeah, all that takes work, even on a basic tribal people on a basic level. You know, so they had to irrigate crops and so forth, and go out hunting animals and skin them alive and prepare and gather shit for the winter. Work. This is what I'm saying, work. And hence, in our society, we got some people that are just, you know, they're just, what it's called is stagnation. As I said, they wouldn't even know how to plant a fucking apple tree. You know what I mean? They wouldn't even know how to live on their own, even if they had to live inside a cave. You know, and this ain't, you know, I'm gonna say it again. Work. I'm like, even if you want to expunge yourself from this modern world and say, well, I want to live somewhere and start a communion and grow my own vegetables and tend to my chickens and kill and eat everything that I kill. You know, that's gonna take work. That takes a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? That may take more work than you just working some rinky-dink job somewhere. You know, and this is the and that was the nucleus of my argument. But I also stated, if you do, you know what I'm saying, work a 9 to 5 or whatever, it don't have to be all that hard. You can find something you actually enjoy. Like me, myself, I mentioned my job. I work at my own pace. If I don't want to work, I don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? They'll give me jobs. I have the option to accept the job or not accept the job because I'm using my own van. All I have to do is keep my van clean, keep my driving license legit, you know what I'm saying, keep my insurance paid for, and that's what somebody should do anyway, even if they don't work from their vehicle, you know, and that's it, you know what I'm saying, it's easy, you know, I'm like, it's not, I work these jobs that were just completely dreadful to go inside and wait for a lunch break, and that's what people use as a catalyst that they don't work because of these certain situations. But I'm telling you that, you know what I'm saying, there's all sorts of jobs out there, you know what I mean? You don't have to punch a freaking clock and so forth. You know, and I was talking about a foundation, you know what I'm saying, for your future. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, if you hustle bags of weed outside your back door, I'm like, you're not going to build a foundation for yourself. You know, and also when I talked about work, you know what I'm saying, as I said before, it doesn't mean that I have to work on the lowest level a human being works at. You know what I'm saying, taking up grunt work, you know. But you know what I'm saying, even if an athlete, you know what I'm saying, a professional athlete, if you ask them, do they work hard, they'll tell you, yeah. You know what I'm saying, they put in a lot of work. They got a strong work ethic, some of them do. And then I said something about being valuable to your employer. Yeah, you have to. I'm like, as I said, go back into these pro athletes. You know, I'm like, they got to be valuable to their franchise, or they're going to trade them or let them go. Even a rapper, when a rapper gets a record deal or whatever, I'm like, you know, so they have to prove themselves valuable to their record company. You know, if they don't generate enough sales, they'll cut them loose. You know, and so forth. You know, and I think a lot of other people got it misconstrued when I said I don't have any sort of self-worth because I'm not working. I'm like, I never said that. I said that I don't feel maybe so far. I'm like, I don't know. Me growing up, you know what I'm saying, my dad put a trait into me that, you know, it's just about being able to generate income. You know, because if you're not working or whatever money you got saved up, you'd be surprised on how fast it starts to deplete. You know, and hence, and if I want to take a female out and go in this, yeah, I want money in my pocket and so forth, money in my bank account, because you never know what's going to come up. You know, and if I'm, you know, it ain't like that. Oh, if a female just jumped in my lap and came to my house, I'm be like, oh, I'm not working. I don't want to have any sort of relationships with you. But hence, guys, the type of females that I date just expect their men to be of a certain caliber. You know, I can't help that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I haven't messed around with, you know what I'm saying, females of deplorable behavior for fun, you know what I mean? I may, you know, link up with a female and this and that, and we'll just, you know what I'm saying, grab a couple of beers, and you know what I'm saying, and do our thing. But I'm talking about a real female that I can bring home to my parents, or I can walk around with my head up high with. Yeah, you know, I'm like, that's just me. I'm like, it's different strokes for different folks, you know what I'm saying? If you feel that you got all this game and all this swagger and so forth, but you know, more power to you, you know what I'm saying? Just like I said, it doesn't matter if you're even in the entertainment industry, or if you make a name for yourself, you know what I'm saying, you still gotta work. And when I think about these rappers, you know what I'm saying, when I read their story and they'll say something about, hey, yeah, I used to work this job until I got my record deal, and this and that, I was doing this, I was shoveling snow, you know, I was flipping burgers until I got a call from the record company. So they're recognizing the importance of generating some income. It's like they're fog playing. Even though, you know what I'm saying, they're already in the studio and talking to record execs, they ain't going to quit their job because they need that sort of stability or this and that. You know, like some people actually care. They got to work to take care of their kids and so forth. Shoot, you know. But thanks for watching, and Sally Forth.